Somebody should call the insane asylum. Yep, I picked up another camcorder. Turn that light off, it's not really necessary. For this price, it's not really all that special. And for that price, I probably would have left it alone were it not for two critical details. The first of which is that the power supply is here, and you can see that it is one of these Panasonic adapters, so this is very definitely a VHS-C camcorder, but you can tell that from the video title as it is anyways. But it didn't just come with this. No. I think it's in here. Yes, there it is. It came with the actual patch cable. These cables go missing every time. I don't know what it is about these things, but just about every single one of these I've ever found, even if it's got this piece in here, it's missing this. So that was one reason for picking it up. Another reason you'll see in a second, and you'll see even further when I get the camcorder out of the bag, because ordinarily this really wouldn't mean anything. But we've got what I believe to be the original patch cable for audio and video. And you can see that it actually utilizes a standard RCA plug on both ends, so I could use any cable I want, which is a nice feature. This bag is also in relatively decent condition. I mean, it's not the best, and it's not really a great bag to begin with either. Let's take the camcorder out and have a look at that. Alright, so I've put the camera on a tripod so you know that we've landed on a wedge. I'm going to go ahead and lift this up. That, and take a look at some of the other things that it came with. And get some focus on this. This is a Panasonic battery. Unfortunately, it's pretty much stone dead, which is not really a surprise. There's a couple of arm straps in here. I don't know what all they came from. I don't know what that would have been used on. Nor do I really know what this would have been used for. But here is the camcorder itself, which you can see, especially if we turn the video light on, is a PV-IQ304 with remote control. And I do have the remote with it. Doesn't really like to stick in there. Here's the actual camcorder, which once I finally do start shooting video with this, you will see there's more than a little resemblance to the camcorder that I'm using right now, the PV-IQ304. There are a couple big differences, the first of which is the viewfinder, which is a black and white job on this unit, and the one I'm using right now has got a color LCD. This one's only got a black and white picture tube. I think the lens on this is a little smaller, it's a little different, you can see that. This one's got a remote, whereas the one I'm using right now does not. But the basic design is pretty well identical. I think the controls are all pretty much the same. They look pretty well the same to me. This unit also only has 12 times variable speed zoom, whereas the one I'm using right now has 14 times variable speed zoom. However, it says variable speed. I've noticed that, like this unit, it's only really got a single speed. I'm not sure what they mean by variable speed. It doesn't really work that way. Say some information on the back. Like I said, the controls are pretty well the same. It does have a different LED setup here, as well as a different start-stop switch. But I think the rest of the controls are pretty well identical. Here's our redeeming feature. Actual RCA jacks, as well as a stinger for the RF output. This unit here has only got a combo jack, 3.5mm combo jack, and I'm not a big fan of those. I've only got one cable that'll work with them, so I can only use one of them at a time, which is rather annoying. But I think I've blathered on long enough about the camcorder unit itself. See, this unit was made in April, just barely. You won't get very much focus on it, but it says April of 1994, which puts this as being one of my oldest VHS-C camcorders, at least of the compact type like this. I mean, obviously, I've got units that are much, much older. Okay, so let's go ahead and switch over to this thing and see what the video's like. Okay, so I've just discovered that the fader works a little differently, and I've also just discovered that the control layout is slightly different between these two units, but we are now using the PV-IQ304. This is the 415. Let's get a general look at it. This light saps my battery, so I've got to be really careful. You can see the combination jack on the side there, which I'm not a big fan of. I am using a battery right now. Not the battery it came with. The battery that it came with is sitting right here. PV-214. And this is another model number in brackets. PV-BP-17. Just to look at a couple of things. There's another camcorder that this bears a resemblance to, although that one is certainly a whole lot different. And as far as I'm concerned, a whole lot better than this unit is, although it doesn't record, which is why it's sitting up there. This unit here, this, probably going to be proven wrong, and this was made in '93. No, this one was made in October of 1995. Which might be able to get a look at there. So this one is definitely an older unit. Here's a look at my rather dangerous fan. I've got the grills downstairs drying. They're probably dry now. I did it last night. The video quality is pretty good from this thing. Of course, it's just like most of these. And yes, I did verify this thing does indeed have a larger sized lens, which you can see right there. There's the color viewfinder. That's what it looks like. It's more of a square as opposed to the round shape that this one is. I don't know what happened to that thing, but it managed to get out of time. But since I've fixed it, I didn't change the batteries or anything, but I fixed it, and now it's keeping good time, so I don't know what the deal was there. This camcorder was off by about 30 minutes in terms of the time, which you can see down there. But, once again, I fixed it. So I don't know if it's going to retain that. There might be a partially dead clock battery, but it should be alright. See how close we can get to some of these leaves with the 12 times optical zoom. That's zoomed all the way out. I don't think we have any image stabilization, but it's not too bad at only 12 times. I can't really think of much else to say, so I think that's really going to conclude this video. Again, that's the extent of the zoom. People have been writing in, actually, and asking where my LANAC tests were, and originally I would have forgotten about it, but I figured I wanted to add on to this and get a little bit of outdoor video before it started to rain. So we'll just add this in here while I'm waiting for batteries to charge. And we'll get a lighting test as well. We're in unnatural lighting right now, as it's getting dark out. Not very appreciative of the display, is it? Maybe we'll get a little bit of manual focus tested here. There we go. It's straightened itself out a little bit. This is probably the most use this iMac has got in almost a year. Probably getting a lot of wind noise in the microphone right now. We'll do another shutter test, high-speed shutter. See the blinking get worse. Here's 160. So if I set this to a 60 Hz refresh rate, pity, I can't even set it to a 60 Hz refresh rate. Those are the only options it gives me. I thought it was capable of 60. I guess not. Oh well. It's just the way that things go, I guess. Screw waiting for the battery. I just got the power supply. I'm using the power supply that it came with. So we get a little bit of outdoor video. Unfortunately, it is raining outside, and it hasn't really been much of an agreeable day at all today, anyways. So it's not sunny like it was in the C7 video that you may or may not have seen. Which I might upload before this one, I don't really know. I'll probably do the one. That's all the Z we have. That doesn't sound as nice as it did when it was brand new. China Pride. I hate it. See strips of the ceiling falling off. Probably should do something about that, not that it really matters. That light doesn't work. It's not the bulb. At least I don't think it's the bulb this time. Usually it's the fixture. Because it's gone right now and it's not doing anything. So I'll have to fix that eventually. But I think that's pretty much all I can think of to do out here. Here's a quick little test with the radio. These paper cups suck. This thing's been sitting here for not even an entire day, and look at this. It's already managed to make a massive mess out of my workbench. Piece of junk. And there's another look at my camcorder posse. But yes, there you go. There is your Panasonic Palmcorders PV-IQ304 VHS-C camcorder that I bought purely because it had the power supply and a physical composite video output, as opposed to a combo jack. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And this is CP666 signing off. Hope to see you next time. Till then.